And welcome back to Who Would Win. And today's Who Would Win comes from my girlfriend. That's right, Carrie Ann. I don't know if you actually asked me to do this one. I think we had this discussion and then we did it. But maybe you just brought up. I wrote it down anyway. So you asked the question a little before Halloween, but it's a little Halloween thing because we got Pennywise in there. Pennywise versus Tom Bombadil. Oh, Tom. Actually, I got Tom Bombadil's information up here. What's the freaking song he sings? It's Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow. Oh yeah, nope, that's not it. Come on, where's his song? Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow, bright blue his jacket, and his boots are yellow. And then there's like a whole other list of other songs in there, or verses in there. Tom Bombadil, man. What, the guy who never made it into the actual movie series, but who everyone who knows Lord of the Rings loves. I don't even love the Lord of the Rings, and I love Tom Bombadil. I like the Lord of the Rings. I actually like the Hobbit movies better. That gets me crucified in so many circles. But hey, look, I'm never gonna lie to you guys. I like the Hobbit movies better than I like the Lord of the Rings. That's just the way it is. And it really all stems down to our main character in that regard. Plus, you got Smaug in the second one, who's just tits. But it really came down to Bilbo. I just like Bilbo. First, I don't hate Elijah Wood, but I think Martin Freeman's a much more entertaining actor than Frodo is. And as Bilbo, he's a much more entertaining character than Bilbo is. But I digress. So, Tom Bombadil versus Pennywise, the dancing clown. Now... I'm going to say Tom for second, because Pennywise I've done so many times on this channel I can do it in my sleep. Pennywise is Pennywise the Dancing Clown. He is the main antagonist in the It book, or the book, Stephen King's It, the It TV series, and the movies. Now, Pennywise is not actually a clown. Pennywise is not interdimensional, but like an extra-dimensional being. If you're not familiar with the Stephen King lore, which many of you probably already are, but just to explain it out. So, because I get so many people saying, you don't understand, this is this, and this, and this, and this. So, in the Stephen King world, there is our universe, and then there is a macroverse beyond that. That is the universe from which Pennywise, as we'll call him, comes from. Now, Pennywise, the Dancing Clown, is not his true form. Truth be told, we really don't know what his true form is, except kind of the Deadlights. The Deadlights that exist with him are as close to his true form as you can get. That being said, it was once described, I believe, by, Eddie? When he was looking into the Deadlights, that all he could see was like a massive fur and teeth and because Pennywise essentially is the direct opposite of the turtle, who is a giver of life and a creator. Whereas Pennywise is a consumer and, basically kind of like the definition of gluttony and greed and consumption and, everything along those lines. So he's kind of personification more evil, whereas the turtle is a personification of life. That said, though, this is the part even I get a little confused on. Now, is he actually on Earth, or is it kind of like an extension of him is on Earth? Like, a piece of him is on Earth and he brings his consciousness there, but all the while he's existing outside there. I believe it's the former, because obviously they do defeat him long term in the book series and in the movie series. So we're just going to assume he's on Earth. But essentially, Pennywise is a predator. I heard Jeremy Johns kind of put it best one time, is that he's an alpha predator who has had no contest, no challengers at all in his entire existence. And then the Losers Club came along and beat his ass. How pathetic is that? But as essentially an extra-dimensional being, he has pretty much any power not really any power. He can basically, physically he can alter his shape and size to meet whatever specification he wants. He just takes the form of Pennywise because it's kind of his favorite form. He can actually read your mind. He can, skim what your fear is. Telekinesis, reality warping on a certain level. Like, he can make you believe things are there, and if you believe they're there, they will affect you in real time. They will affect you like they would in the real world. If he suddenly makes, acid-spewing winged tigers with baby faces appear in front of you, and you're scared to death and believe they're there, they will kill you. So, yeah, it's with Pennywise. It's all a matter of mind over matter. It's a battle of wills with Pennywise. Now, someone had brought up in one of the comments a while back, and I believe it was with my Jason versus Pennywise video, that the only way to beat Pennywise is through the ritual of Chud. Now, here's the thing. In the book and in the movie, I'm not going to spoil the movies. The part 2 just came out where they would have done the ritual of Chud. So I'm not going to actually spoil what happens in there. But I'm going to say this. That's not the only way you can beat Pennywise. The problem here is that that's the only method that the loser clubs had to beat Pennywise, ultimately. And I say that because we know that there are other supernatural entities within the Stephen King mythos, within the It universe, if you will. We don't see Pennywise go up against those characters, though, so we don't know how he actually stacks up compared to other characters. Like, I know there's another one known as the Crimson King, who by all definitions is even stronger than Pennywise. So to the extent I know about him. So Pennywise, despite how powerful he really is not even the top dog in the Stephen King universe. He's close to the top, but he's not the top dog. There's a couple characters that actually overrule him in terms of power. So with Pennywise, Pennywise feeds off your fear. As long as you're afraid of him, as long as he can manipulate you, mess with you, everything along those lines, he will have power over you, and whatever he does to you, it's going to hurt and probably kill you. However, if you can just overcome your fear of him and show no fear of him, and then just shows like, I'm not afraid of you. It's like, no, you're nothing. You're nothing to me. And you don't back down in front of him. He loses his power, especially in large groups. Larger groups of people together coming towards him against him. What that sentence means is this. Coming together against him is a severe weakness to him. That being said, going up against any singular individual who not only has no fear of him, but can just, exude happiness and warmth and, just joy and all that, would really be a detriment to his power. So, Pennywise is extremely powerful, but that's why in these one-on-one fights, whenever I have him go up against someone who basically either has no fear, is insane, so therefore they wouldn't fear, or is, have like perfect example would be like the Joker. I'm not gonna say how that fight ended, but against the Joker lives in a world with freaking Superman and crap. He's beyond insane. It's believed he's super sane. Like it's believed he actually can break the fourth wall. That's how far his insanity goes. He goes up against Batman. He's got Batman's rogues gallery dealing with him constantly. He messes with Superman sometimes. He doesn't give two craps. Do you think honestly that Pennywise scares him at all? No. And that would really be a detriment to Pennywise in a one-on-one fight. Now, that's not to say Pennywise wouldn't be able to kill him still. I'm just saying that's the example we're going with here. Which now leads us into Tom Bombadil. Now, Tom Bombadil is a character that has a lot of mystery. It's never known who or what Tom Bombadil actually is. What is known about him is that, for all intent and purposes, to the best of everyone's knowledge, he is probably the oldest being in Middle Earth. Not just in, like, the Shire, not just within his own domain in, I believe, Arda. In the entire Lord of the Rings universe, it's believed he is the oldest being ever, which means he's already immortal because he's pretty much ageless. He has complete control of everything within his domain. Wind, water, trees, everything along those lines. Master of wood, water, and hill, as his wife Goldberry basically says. His ability, his greatest power apparently comes through singing when he starts saying, "Oh, Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow. Blue is this blue? Oh, what was it? Blue? Ah, crap. What's the line again? Bright blue is his jacket and his boots are yellow." And that's the thing. And he exercises authority over Old Man Willow, who's basically kind of an evil tree creature that was causing the hobbits a bit of trouble. And the supernatural barrow wights. I don't know what the barrow wights are. It's been a long. I've only ever read through the Lord of the Rings one time. Barrow wights were shape-shifting beings of darkness, similar in circumstance to wraiths. Okay, so they're kind of like cousins to wraiths. Basically, he's able to have, which the wraiths are no joke either. But yeah, it exercises authority over them. But beyond that, I mean, first off, Tom's personality, he's just bright, exudes happiness, things along those lines. I'm certain if he had to fight someone of an evil nature, like if somehow, for some reason, Sauron came to town against him, he might still be keep his jolly nature, but he'd actually get serious, like if he had to face someone. And I don't think he'd be happy to do that. He's happy just living his life and doing his thing. But one of the biggest things about Tom Bombadil, it deals with the ring of the one ring of power. Now, as we know, the one ring. Now, here's the thing. I have to double check on this, but what does the one ring actually do? It is power. It also has complete control over the other rings. That was it. The ring's primary power was to control all the other rings, including mastery over their powers and domination of the wills of their users, which in and of itself is freaking like broken. However, its effectiveness in the matter proved limited, as the wielder of the three never used them while Sauron held the one. So there you go. And the dwarves, to whom the seven had begun, proved too tough for Sauron's mental influence to take hold. So basically, the ring was kind of useless by that extension. By extension, the ring was conferred to the power to dominate the wills of other beings, whether they were wearing the rings or not. However, this was its least accessible power, since it granted the ability in portions to users' natural capacity. Perhaps most usefully, the ring was capable of augmenting the abilities and powers of whatever being held it. Also, the wielder of the One Ring might not have possessed most, if not all, the powers of the ring. Only Sauron or someone with similar power and experience with the ring would be able to wield its full power. Varying powers or effects of the ring are seen depending on the wielder's power, skills, abilities, natural capacities. When Samwise Gamgee held the ring, he could hear far better and more accuracy while trying to sneak around, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that name, to evade the orcs and say it. Frodo was able to see for miles when wearing it. In all cases, mortal wearing beings become invisible, except to anyone who was able to perceive non-physical world with only a thin, shaky, shadowy, discriminable sunlight. Whether immortals were made invisible by it is unknown, as the only immortal who ever wore it was Tom Bombadil, and we'll get to that in just a second. So another power of the ring was the ability to project a false vision of the wearer to observers. Sam encountered the orc in the tower. When holding it, he appeared to the orc as a powerful warrior cloaked in shadow. The ring, however, the One Ring does not offer the wielder protection from physical harm, however. As it contained part of Sauron's native power, it exhibits a malevolent but limited form of sentience. To fully master, basically, the ring, the ring doesn't actually have any powers, but basically, it can corrupt you. It can basically drive basically your like selfish nature, all to get back to its original, master, hence Sauron, and basically make your inherent abilities more effective, like vision, hearing, turn mortals invisible, so forth and so on. The reason this is so important to understand is the fact that, and anyone who knows Tom Bombadil knows where I'm going with this, is that as far as we know, Tom Bombadil is the only person in Middle-earth who the One Ring of Power has zero effect on. And now they explain this a bit in the book, that it's not that Tom has power over the ring. It's that the ring does not have any power over Tom. That's how powerful mentally, or just in general, Tom is. That the One Ring of Power, the One Ring that can corrupt pretty much any being, hobbit, sorcerer, hobbit, wizard, whatever, doesn't do squat to Tom. Tom just puts it on, just like, then he does a little sleight of hand trick with it, like, here, and then Frodo puts it on. I was like, is this the right thing? He's like, you should take that off. You look better without it. Wait, you can see me? Yeah. Okay. Granted, Frodo was more just surprised, because in Tom Bombadil's home, it's actually very warm and inviting, kind of almost dreamlike. So Tom Bombadil when you really break it down, is a tough SOB. He's pretty much like, he doesn't look like Santa Claus, because there's plenty of interpretations of him. His beard's maybe got a little bit of gray, but he's just a friendly old bushy beard guy, kind of like Hagrid almost. Anytime I think of what his voice sounds like, I just think it's a, kind of like a deep thing. Like, oh, Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow. Bright blue's his shirt and his blue, it's his shirt, right? Bright blues his, bright blues his jacket and his boots are yellow. Just, that's kind of what I think of Tom. Now, granted, I have like several images of him, like this guy right here. I can see him being a bit more high-pitched in his voice, but honestly, I always just picture that deep voice when I think about him. Honestly, my image of him a little bit, take the wardrobe out of the equation, is Muppet Christmas Carol, The Ghost of Christmas Present, who's essentially Santa Claus is what he is. That's what I essentially think of when I think of Tom Bombadil. So if Pennywise and Tom Bombadil came to head, who the hell would win that fight? Because they say that within his domain, well, Tom's domain only stretches so far, which means if we're going to have him at these guys pretty much at their theoretical best, it has to happen within Tom's domain, because we don't know what Tom's power actually is like outside of his domain. So let's say Pennywise somehow, some way winds up on Middle Earth instead of normal Earth. Wreaking out, scaring hobbits, eating people, eating kids. And he's chasing some hobbits into Tom's domain. Let's say he's the guy chasing them in, like Frodo and the gang in there. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, fans like, tasty, tasty, tasty fairies. But all of a sudden, you just hear this, you just hear a voice like, and he can feel someone's coming. And Pennywise can feel power. He can tell if someone's strong. I'm certain of it. And he can tell. He realizes that this entire wood season doesn't feel right to him. Like in general, it feels like it's not welcoming him. And matter of fact, it feels almost like, oh, we want you out of here. It's like, what? And he's like, what is this? And then, oh, Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow. Bright blues a jacket and his boots are yellow. I was like, what? And all of a sudden, these tree bars like, what's going on? He's just tearing him off, trying to tear him off. He's kind of like just strung up a little bit. Hello, hello, the ones there you are. Hello, I heard tell you that someone's in my woods. You seem to be having a problem with this little jester fellow, aren't you? Oh, and you're the one who's causing this stink in here. Oh, it's not very nice to be coming into someone's place uninvited, It's like, I don't know what you are, old man, but no one does to me. I am eater of worlds. Tom's just laughing at him, saying, and this is just... See, someone like Tom, I think, will legitimately mess with Pennywise. Because you have the Losers Club, who start out afraid of him, and then, who start out afraid of him, and then rise up against him. Something that Pennywise could at least naturally see coming. But to have this guy not only not showing an ounce of fear towards him, but just laughing and just bringing off joy, it's like, this would legitimately mess with Pennywise. Like, what the frick? He just goes, just turns into some monster. Oh, that's a cute trick. Oh, turn into an ant next. He does what he like a scary evidence. Oh, that's amazing. Can you do dragons? Oh, that's wonderful. It's again, Pennywise doesn't know what to do. He tries to attack Tom, and Tom, I think, honestly just goes, oh, no. Oh, there's no violence here while Tom Bombadil's around. And you know why? Because Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow. And it just, his song is literally just causing Pennywise to recede. Just, yeah! What are you? Tom Bombadil. And weren't you hearing this? No, as I say, weren't you paying attention to the song? Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow. Ah, God! Pennywise just, frankly... Now, I don't think Tom wouldn't kill Pennywise on their first interaction. If he came back again, Tom probably would have no choice but to put him down if he could, which I think, honestly, he could. I think Pennywise, frankly, has to get the hell out of there. Because There's nothing he can do against this guy. He's just exhibiting too much joy, happiness, and he's trying to invade his mind. And Tom's like, nope. What is this guy? So Pennywise kind of just turns into like some bat creature. Just, oh God! And he basically gets to fly the hell out of there. Meanwhile, Tom can also be like, or sense that he's a pretty nasty one, and then all of a sudden just whaps him on the head with a brain. Poof, ow! And just can Pennywise actually be knocked out? That's the thing. He had to go into hibernation at the end of the first movie. And that's essentially what happened at the end of the first part of the series, is that he in the book and then the TV series and the movie is that in kids they basically had to not he had to go into hibernation at that point. So that's why, or he forced himself. He had to go back into hibernation, otherwise they were actually going to kill him. So and here's the thing. Here's the big thing. I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, you didn't bring this up." I'm going to bring it up now. Would the deadlights, which if you stare at them can either just flat out kill a normal person or just cause straight insanity, would they have any effect on Tom Bombadil? Look, on a normal human, absolutely. Tom is neither normal nor human. So we do not know what effect the deadlights would have on, first off, someone who's not human. Second off, someone who's an immortal who's seen far too much in this world that I honestly think that deadlights would be that much of a surprise for him. That's the thing about it, is that by our human and that's the thing with the deadlights and causing insanity and just killing you, because it's kind of like, it's Cthulhu-esque, essentially. It's Eldritch lore, kind of, almost, that you can't stare at the old ones or your brain will explode, literally. Is that, by all accounts, those situations happen in our real world, meaning everything we experience in the real world now, to put a supernatural being in there, our brain couldn't process that because that's never existed to the best of our knowledge. Like, our brain can't fathom this thing's real. Tom Bombadil, on the other hand, has lived through the entire ages of the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and everything else that we know of in the Lord of the Rings lore. He's seen the rise of Shelob, the rise and fall of Shelob, rise and fall of Sauron multiple times, Smaug. Then you have all the guys in the Silmarillion, I can't remember the name of the spider who was like basically the father, was the mother of Shelob, the big dragon that was the size of a mountain range, the Silmarillion itself. I frankly don't think the deadlights do anything to Tom Bombadil. It was like, oh, those are beautiful. It's like, again, it would just, and if Pennywise tried to say, just pulls out the lights and say, pretty lights. And then he just slides a hands to the lights, like, oh, no, where are they? Like, give me those! That's just, Pennywise like, I don't know what you are! Pennywise is just in a fetal position for a little bit. Oh, God! He won't! I can't scare him! He's so happy! It just gets the hell out of there. And again, Tom Bombadil frankly just knocks him out. Boom, nope! And it's like, you are a terrifying little fellow, aren't you? Ooh. But while your glances aren't affected on me, I don't think I can let you go. So why don't you spend some time with old man Willow here? Maybe you two can get along and be friends. And basically just forms a little house, a little cage for him. Now here's the thing. Would that be something Tom would do? I think that would be something Tom would do. Because the reason they didn't give him the One Ring to look after is because they basically explained that the ring, again, even though the ring doesn't have any power over him, they believe Tom would not find the ring to be very important, so he would either misplace it or simply get rid of it. So because Tom is that carefree, it might not be a good idea to do that. But if something is invading his realm and he sees it as a threat, I do think he would take the time to take care of it. So yeah, he probably just seals him away with old man Willow's like, now you think about what you've done for her. I don't know. Let's try 10 millennia. That should be good. What? 10 millennia? Get me out of this thing! And now basically Pennywise is a prisoner of a jolly old man. Oh, Tom Bombadil, and just starts singing it. And that's something that he'll do every day. Just sing his song merrily and basically just keep him imprisoned. So again, why do I think that Tom Bombadil is the clear-cut winner in this fight? Because he is the he is the worst type of matchup for Pennywise. Whereas there are characters like, and I'm just going to name a few of the verses I've done. Freddy Krueger, or better yet, Jason and Michael, who don't exhibit fear, they're still limited by what they're capable of. Jason, for all his abilities, he's just a big brute and sometimes a zombie, and sometimes a demon. And I think in the comics I was just told, a Necronomicon Deadite kind of zombie. So yeah, pretty powerful. Mike Myers is still more or less a human with some supernatural abilities. Freddy's a dream demon, so that does give him an edge in certain categories, but excuse me, still feel fear. But generally speaking, against other supernatural entities, he's pretty. I'd say he could be on par. But then you have someone who's not only pretty much fearless, but also exhibits so much joy and charm and warmth that it's a natural counter to someone who exhibits cold, malice, threatening fear. It's kind of the worst matchup for Pennywise you could think of. He's kind of one of those people who just on a one-on-one fight would just wiggle away at all the confidence Pennywise has. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that fight. Tom Bombadil, I think, takes that fight easy, honestly. But look, I know no matter how much I try to explain it, I'm going to get people who say, you don't know, you don't understand Pennywise, read the book, watch the movie. I get it, okay? I'm not going to be able to know everything, but I do what I can to look up the information and, to give a comprehensive analysis. And trust me, I've had to look up Pennywise so many times at this point. I know enough about Pennywise. Again, no matter how I explain, I'm still going to get people say, you don't know. Anyway, now this is definitely one of those fights that I'd love to have animated. It'd be probably like a pixel fight, but still. I wish I could do all of these animated. Problem is, well, if I did all these animated, it's going to take a lot more time, and you would not get anywhere near as much who would wins as you would normally. I'd probably be limiting myself to 2 a week at that point. You would not get the week of who would wins. So yeah, but at some point, if I could ever get the skills and the software to do that, you bet your ass I'd do it. Absolutely, I'd love to do it. But until then, we work with what we have. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This one went on a little long. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Super Magic, what if, anything to do with the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. So, thanks for watching. I'll be back. It's the week of what if, so I do have a what if to do. Later.